This unit or this segment is called Magic the Gathering Behind the Scenes. My roommate Dylan Lanier this year, he's far inferior to both of you, but he is my roommate this year. He loves Magic. He loves Magic the Gathering more than anything in this world, except for smooching people, because he uses the room every day. So I've got some Magic the Gathering cards pulled up here. So I'm going to read the description, and I want you guys to give your take on sort of what the behind the scenes look at deciding what this Magic the Gathering card was. All right, give the backstory. All right, we got it.
No, I do not have
it. Like the card's creation.
Right. So like give the origin story.
Not like the lore.
The origin story, I think.
I'm rearing at the bit.
I think it's chomping at the bit, but okay. Yeah.
All right. First card. And I've noticed a trend here, so we're going to start with a real foundational card. All right. This card is called Black Lotus. Here's the description. Adds 3 mana of any single color of your choice to your mana pool, then is discarded. Tapping this artifact can be played as an interrupt.
Wow.
Okay, I think I can feel this one.
That's a lot of words.
So I'm pretty sure this guy was just like kind of a super mega nerd, and he didn't really have a lot of stuff going on, like not too many friends. So I think he just kind of fell down a rabbit hole and made this really weird, confusing card game with a lot of minutia, and just kind of went off on whatever, what were you talking, mana and other stuff?
Mana.
Yeah, so I think this guy was kind of a loser.
Charlie?
I'm looking at the card right now, and it's a picture. It's just like a forest, and then there's like one flower.
Right.
And so I think maybe like the team was walking through the woods, and they found this like lone flower.
Right.
And they were like, you know what this reminds me of? They were on this like beautiful walk in the woods. Like maybe it was like the game's chief designer and his like fiance who like loves him very dearly and like doesn't really care about what he does but loves him because he's like kind of a lovable nerd, and he picked up this flower and she thought he was going to give it to her, and then he said, you know what I think this would be great for? If it added 3 mana of any single color to your thing, and if tapping it was used as an interrupt, and then that relationship died. Yeah,
I think those line up pretty well. Basically, this guy is kind of a loser nerd, and he's ugly in the face, and I'd say he's full-bodied though. Definitely
Absolutely.
got a full body.
I would say
hint of mahogany.
Can I point out that there's another card that I've looked up that's called Lotus Petal, and I think this is maybe post-breakup, same guy, because it says sacrifice the Lotus Petal to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and it's a picture of a lotus petal just being exploded.
Oh my god.
Just exploding. So I think that, that one stems right from the first story.
Nice.
Oh, and then it gets even darker. Then there's one of like a lotus with like skeletons in it. God, this guy really fell into a pit. All right. What's the next one?
Magic the Gathering Behind the Scenes Volume 2. We're going to start with Foxfire Oak. This is a creature of the Tree Folk Shaman.
Of course. Holy shit, I'm looking at this picture.
The Foxfire Oak gets +3/+0 until end of turn. And the description is, the brethren shall blaze with unnatural fire, and the flame shall consume and purify our rage. And that's quoted to the Tree Folk Catastrophe Myth.
I thought this guy was hella dank until he said the rage, and now I'm confused.
This Tree Folk Shaman is unreal looking. I'm looking at a picture. It's basically like this twisted thing of like roots with like screaming, like, like the knots of a tree that they're like holes. Imagine if those were like screaming mouths. This thing is insane. And then there's an alternate picture of it, which is just like, oh no, that's Battle Wand Oak. Never mind. All right, let's talk about this one.
So Foxfire Oak, how does it strike you?
I think it's really weird that you asked what the origin was, because it's pretty clear it's from the Tree Fork Catastrophe,
right?
Which is like a real thing,
right?
Like outside of Magic the Gathering that I think we're all aware of.
Could you remind me what the Tree Folk Catastrophe Myth? Like, it's basic.
Oh, that's right. You're Jewish.
It's bones.
Yeah.
It's bare bones.
Right, yeah. Well, just like, it's like a Christian, like, it's in the Bible.
Right.
And basically, I think it's in John chapter 3, Jesus is like, hey, don't fucking sin. And John is like, why not, Jay? And he's called Jay in the Bible, it's like a little known thing. And he's like, well, if you sin, then the tree folk will come alive and they'll firefox you down to hell. And he's like, what's firefox? And Jesus is like, it's going to be a browser one day, but also it's like the end of the world caused by trees.
Right.
And little known fact, that's why global warming is a thing.
Right.
It's like an early prevention.
Because of all the firefox oaks.
Right, yeah. It's like, yeah. And then Firefox was like, let's reclaim this word. It's like a scary myth, but like, let's reclaim it. It's like a fun browser that's like emphasized on open source.
Right.
Book of John's got a lot of weird myths. It's got the Firefox myth. It's got like the Chrome implosion disaster myth. It's got... All
right, you're making that
Internet
one up.
Explorer.
All right, let's hit a third volume of this game, a third and final.
Yeah.
All right, so in front of me I got my boy, the Steam Flogger Boss. All right, he's a goblin rigger, and the description is other riggers you control get +1/+0, and they have haste. If a rigger you control would assemble a contraption, it assembles 2 contraptions instead. And the quotation.
Yeah, can we read this quote? It's so good.
Don't quit now. We're almost done. Then we'll build another one. So Steam Flogger Boss has mad rhymes.
I have a different quote, and my quote is, whip the X's, pinch the O's, when we're building, no one knows.
Oh my god. Dan, can you elaborate?
I actually put on a basketball game because I was kind of bored, but Bradley Beal, it's Wizards, Pacers, end of the first, 5 seconds left, Bradley Beal dribbles left, pull up, hit it, mid-range game, strong. They pass it in. I don't know who that is for the Pacers. He runs up court, throws a prayer up, almost banks it in. End of the first.